Yo! So yet again some changes have come to the beta of Season of Mastery, along with some big news, and I want to talk about it. I'm going to list them right now and talk about them afterwards. Firstly, we have the release date of Season of Mastery and the character name reservation. Next we have some changes to the Phase 1 raids once again. Next we have PvP adjustments and a Alterac Valley change. Next we have some deterrents to botting and gold farming in BRD. Lastly, after I've discussed all of that, I'm going to discuss my new approach to these videos and my final video later, alongside some channels worth mentioning. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as you can see here, World of Warcraft Classic Season of Mastery has gotten an official release date for it, and a character name reservation as well. The character name reservations will start on November the 11th, and Season of Mastery itself will start on November the 16th. For specific times, check the article for your time zone as it's mapped there. I managed to catch this news whilst watching a streamer play Season of Mastery. I know a lot of people were speculating its release date around November to December due to the anniversary of the game and the release of a competitor's game's DLC. I'm really happy the game is releasing soon. I've been hyped for the release and hoping to have as much fun as I did in Classic before. Next up, the changes to Inixia and Molten Core bosses. I managed to raid half of Molten Core and watch the rest of the raid and rest of Inixia, which I didn't finish, on streams, essentially. A scuffed breakdown of this is generally the majority of the bosses have their current mechanics increased in frequency and have adds or increased adds. The rest, such as Barangeddon, Sulphur and Harbinger, Golemag and Shazra, have unique changes, like Geddon having free living bombs, and I would say leaving scars on the ground. I couldn't really think of a word to say what he leaves on the ground, and he spawns an ad with it. Sulfuran and his ads sharing HP, Golemag having an earthquake, armor debuff stack, and ads can't outrange the boss debuff or the buff, and Shazra leaving mirror images where he teleports from. Before then, or before when they only tested increased health on bosses with no world buffs, in reality it just made the fight longer. Sure, it's meaningful but not harder, but now it's got some charm to each boss now, making each boss a little bit harder, which makes the encounters more fresh. For example, in many of these encounters we will have to change up what we think is a good roster for classes, rethink certain boss fights to down them effectively for that 12-month cadence. I am really happy to see these changes. Raiding some and watching streams really gives me a fresh vibe of this raid. Although I am a battleground PvP man myself, I like this regardless. Speaking of PvP though, we have the PvP adjustments and a Alterac Valley change. Some guards in Alterac Valley have restored some guards from the 1.11 patch from the Alterac Valley from that patch, and the PvP honor system has been accelerated. I saw this on the development notes, as you can see here. I'll just stop highlighting that. I believe the guards will provide a small challenge in AV, and the acceleration of the honor system, I think, will make it so people can get their PvP gear around the same phases like they did in Classic, I think at least. I am personally happy with this since I am planning to do Battleground PvP for the majority of my time and only pugging some raids from a small amount of times really. And I originally had concerns about the PvP ranking on a 12-month cadence without no-lifing essentially. But now I think it's a little bit better and I am a little bit more relieved, I would say. Next up, the BRD Thief debuff. It seems when you pickpocket too much in BRD, you gain a 30-minute debuff that when you pickpocket someone, it provides barely anything. It's clear that this is to deter bots and gold farming, similar to the mage slash pally nerfs. This will do great to deter botters from abusing BRD, but it will also make rogues very angry like mages and pallies would be from the nerfs on the third beta, for example. I personally have used this farm on my rogue in Original Classic, and I'm sad to see it being nerfed, but I do understand the positives outweigh the negatives. Sure, rogues will lose one of their gold potentials, but we will see less bot farms. I like this change. And that's it for the news of Season of Mastery and the changes. Next, I want to mention my new approach to my videos. Originally I started this channel for myself in the future to see how things went on Season of Mastery, but my approach was making one video before and one after. But now I look back on it, my initial thoughts and my after thoughts seem to be roughly the same. So instead of making a before and after thoughts, I'm going to just release my thoughts after the playtesting only. That way, it's less cloggy and spammy in my videos, and also I will make sure to outline the changes of each beta in one big clump as my final video. I don't plan on making videos after the final video. I may do streams, but I'm not sure. Lastly, I want to mention these creators from Twitch and YouTube that provided excellent content and still do with their own opinions and goals for Season of Mastery. For example, Willie, Classic WoW Curious, Solheim Gaming, Guzu, Cargos, Metagoblin, Peyo, Stay Safe, Scott J, and Neckrage. All of these will be linked down into the description, I would say, and along with the forums post and the news post of what I've been talking about in the video. And that's it. Thanks for watching.